Hello and welcome to Inside Sports. I'm your host, Todd Blackstock. We have a great show for you today as we have in studio Brent Shulman. Brent is the Director of Marketing and Communications for the St. Louis Sports Commission, and he's here to tell us about all the great events that they have coming to St. Louis. Also, we have our Arch Madness overview, a feature I'm very excited about. So we've got this and much more coming up next on Inside Sports.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education.
Right up here.
So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour
Lights there, darts there.
to show them that higher education means a brighter future.
My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
And welcome to the show. Our first guest today is Brent Shulman. Brent Shulman is the Director of Marketing and Communication for the St. Louis Sports Commission. Brent, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Todd.
You know, the Sports Commission in 2002, 05, and again in 2013 was named Sports Commission of the Year. Congratulations on that. And what do you think brought you home those honors?
Well, it's a little bit different every year, Todd, but we're really proud of that because we're one of two organizations in the country that has won the award 3 times. The Richmond Sports Commission is the other award recipient for 3 times. You know, with that, you know, it depends every year. The last time we won it in 2013 was for a lot of our work we did in 2012. You know, we had the NCAA basketball regional that year. We also had the USA Gymnastics National Championships. We also did a lot of work with our sportsmanship programs and developing the Musial Awards also. Okay,
fantastic. So a lot of it's like stuff from the prior years. You know, you brought some big events to town and you guys really nailed it every time you did.
It has to do with the events, but it's also your impact on the community support that, you know, we receive, and all that has a lot to do with it as well.
All right, fantastic. Well, this year has been a huge year for the Sports Commission. You had the Division II Wrestling Championships and the Division I Wrestling Championships as well. Can we start things off today with the Division II Wrestling Championships?
You know, that was an event we're really excited about. Our partners were the Maryville University here in St. Louis. You know, great wrestling program they have with Coach Denny, you know, coming aboard a couple years ago. Really good event at Chaffetz Arena. It was, you know, a facility that worked out really well for that event. You know, it starts out with the 6 mats, you know, at the first day of competition. You know, you end up with just the 10 wrestlers at the finals. Worked out really well. The athletes, the coaches, the media, everyone was raving about the accommodations here in St. Louis.
Now, that was the first time you guys hosted the D2 Wrestling Championships, and there was a kind of a cool winner with St. Cloud bringing home the trophy with that. And that was kind of a cool story.
Absolutely. It was their first national championship in school history, so they were really excited about that. Very cool moment. They got to take home a lot of the signage from the venue. So that was a really cool moment for them being here in St. Louis to do that.
And the people really enjoyed coming to St. Louis and visiting and things like you said. And, you know, what a great host town we are.
Absolutely. You know, St. Louis works out so well for all these events because of our downtown package. You know, it's hotels, restaurants, you know, all the accommodations that we have, usually within walking distance of the facility. You know, everything around, you know, the Midtown area, SLU campus, everyone was very accommodating, you know, whether it was, you know, having extended hours at their restaurants or other establishments. You know, but it worked out really well for the Division II championships.
And the Metrolink too, what a great way to get around the city.
Absolutely, and it's something that a lot of cities don't offer that, you know, separates St. Louis when it comes to, you know, us bidding for these championships and other events. You know, it's the whole package they look at, whether it's, you know, all the flights we have coming into St. Louis, you know, the downtown package, the hotels, you know, all that factors into a decision being made to award us a championship.
Now, the Division I Wrestling Championships has been held here numerous times, once again this year. Give us a rundown on how that went.
That was a great event. You know, we broke our own attendance record for that event. It was over 113,000 people over the 6 sessions. And like you mentioned, it was the 7th time since 2000 that we've had that event here in St. Louis. It works out so well. And there's several members of the committee, coaches, media, and a lot of the athletes have told us, you know, have it in St. Louis every year. It works out so well for the championships. You know, a lot of the hotels that the athletes stay at are within walking distance. So they're able to finish up their match, you know, get back to the hotel, get some rest, get something to eat. You know, you can't do that in all these other cities.
Now, we're skipping the event next year in St. Louis, but it's back in 2017, and I understand that a bidding process for future dates is coming up as well.
Absolutely. Back in 2017, it goes to Madison Square Garden in New York next year for the first time. But yes, the bid process will be coming up soon, and we're excited about that because, you know, we would love to pitch the NCAA to say, you know, bring the wrestling championships to St. Louis every year. You know, we think we'd have a lot of support for that as well.
Yeah, let's talk bowling. Now, at Tropicana Lanes, recently, the women's national championships were held here for the first time. I didn't even know there was a women's national championship in bowling.
Absolutely, yeah. The NCAA, as a varsity sport, only has women's bowling. But it went really well. It was the first time we've had it here in St. Louis, like you mentioned. You know, there were 8 teams that came in, great competition for a couple of days, and then the finals on that Saturday evening, you know, the University of Nebraska came out on top.
Okay, let's talk about some upcoming events. In July 4th, actually, on Independence Day, we have the Freedom 4-miler Family Fun Run. Tell us about this and let our viewers know how they can get involved.
Absolutely. It's a great event that we do in conjunction with Fair St. Louis and then the VP Parade. You know, it kicks off a lot of that in the morning. 7 o'clock is the first, the 4-miler actually, and then the fun run is after that at 8:30. So it's a great event. Everyone comes out all dressed up in their patriotic, you know, whether it's the uniforms. You know, we have tech shirts that we give out to all the runners that are patriotic. It's great in Forest Park because it's very scenic and opportunities that people usually don't have for some of these runs. So it's great to be connected to the holiday. You know, our partners, Big River Running Company, help us out with that. And we're really excited to be involved with Fair St. Louis and the VP Parade.
And that's actually part of the festivities, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You know, with it being on a Saturday this year is a great opportunity for those people that are going to be in town. And it's really exciting because, you know, all the families and everybody has gotten very involved in the last couple of years. Obviously, the race used to be downtown, but it moved to Forest Park last year once the fair moved as well. So we're really excited about continuing that this year and hope for a good turnout.
One thing that's very special, and I think it's a new entry with the Sports Commission, is the Musial Awards. Can you get us up to speed with the Stan Musial Awards? Because we all know he's a legend in baseball, and you know he received the the Medal of Freedom from the president, and gosh, what a great honor that is for Stan and for St. Louis to honor his legacy with this award ceremony.
Absolutely, it's an event we're doing this year. It's December 5th, the Peabody Opera House. A couple years ago, we renamed an event we had previously done called the National Sportsmanship Awards. We renamed it to be the Musial Awards, obviously after Stan. So it's a great event. It honors, you know, Stan's legacy by honoring, you know, different acts of sportsmanship from across the country, you know, class, character, all those different elements. You know, it basically honors people for different, you know, on and off the acts they do on and off the field, whether it's, you know, good sportsmanship, whether it's something they did that was very honorable. So we do that. You know, last year we had Joe Torre here in St. Louis. He was the inaugural recipient of the Stan Musial Lifetime Achievement Award. Stay tuned for more updates about this year's honoree. But also Monet Davis was here last year, receiving a great award for extraordinary excellence for everything she did in the Little League World Series.
Well, that's fantastic. And also you've got the 2015 Pro Football Hall of Fame Salute to Greatness. Now, that sounds like a really cool event. Can you tell me about that?
It's a cool event. It's going to be at Old Warson this year in September. It's a great event. You know, there's going to be some Hall of Famers that they're going to announce that are going to be present at that event that you can golf with. There's also a dinner associated with that event. And more information is going to be coming out on that soon on our website, which is stlsports.org.
Now, you guys are in the bid process to a lot of events that are going on, and you've nailed down some events for next year as well. Next spring, we should expect some big things with the Sports Commission once again with NCAA basketball, in addition to Arch Madness, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Absolutely. Next year, we have the first and second rounds for NCAA basketball that are returning. We have 8 great teams here in St. Louis. You know, last year's event, you know, we ended up with Kentucky and Kansas State and Kansas, and had a very good draw, and we hope for a similar result next year.
How about that? And let's talk about Arch Madness. I always seem to see you when we check in and get our press credentials and things. You're always like the friendly guy that everybody knows right when you walk in, and you partner up with the Valley. Talk about your relationship with the Valley, because I know you guys, when you have time, you try to help, and you have a great symbiotic relationship with them, and you guys work together great.
Well, the Valley, you know, based here in St. Louis, they are a tremendous organization, tremendous folks over there. You know, we try to help them out as much as possible, you know, with their tournament. They do a great job running the show there, but we just try to, you know, help them out. It's going to be here at least through the next couple of years at Scott Trade Center. We're really excited to partner with them on Arch Madness, and then also, obviously, you know, with them taking the lead as the NCAA host for the first and second rounds.
And what a great job they do as well. I really enjoy meeting with Doug Elgin. He does a fantastic job. Tournament director Jack Watkins, he's all over the place, as you know, and Mike Kern, just the list goes on. Can you maybe give a plug? We got about 30 seconds left, and to the Valley guys.
Absolutely. Whether, like you said, whether it's Doug, Mike, Jack, Patty, everybody, they all do a great job with everything. Whether it's the tournaments that are held here in St. Louis or the ones across, their Valley schools. It's just a great first-class organization to work with.
Now, the Sports Commission, I know you guys are looking for volunteers, and how would someone get involved with the St. Louis Sports Commission as far as internships or volunteers or try to get employment through you guys?
Absolutely. There's a lot of opportunities to volunteer for all of our events. Sometimes it takes hundreds of volunteers, like it does for the wrestling championships or for the Freedom 4-miler. So all the information is on our website, which is stlsports.org.
All right. Well, Brent, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks a lot, Todd.
Taking time out of your busy schedule. We always appreciate it. All right, folks. Well, right now, we're going to head down to look at our feature of Arch Madness. Jack Watkins, the tournament director. We've got Doug Elgin, a lot of guys, and some great action. So let's take a look. Hi, I'm Todd Blackstock on location at the Scott Trade Center in downtown St. Louis, home of Arch Madness. The 2015 tournament marks the 25th consecutive year Arch Madness has been held here in St. Louis. It was a great weekend, lots of twists and turns. Let's take a look. The biggest shock of this year's Arch Madness was the #1 seed Wichita State Shockers getting bounced in the semifinals by the Redbirds of Illinois State University.
Well, that certainly was an upset that, that's why they call it Arch Madness. Great game. Illinois State did what they needed to do in the second half of that game and surprised a lot of people, but I don't think anybody at Illinois State was surprised with the outcome.
Loyola was feeling pretty good coming in as bruising forward from St. Louis Christian Thomas, who was recently named the Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Week after the season's finale. The 6'5" Clayton High School standout had his work cut out as his mission was to shut down the Valley Player of the Year from UNI, Seth Tuttle. Thomas battled and gave it his all, but the Panthers, who were ranked 11th best team in the nation, were just too strong for the Ramblers and punched their ticket to the tournament finals and improved to 29-3. Now Loyola, I think they had a pretty decent record this year. They're taking the place of Creighton, obviously, and they're new to the league, but they made a little bit of noise as well, and I'm sure you're happy to have them as a new addition.
Well, that's the first time in 108 years that we've had a Chicago-based school in the league, and they've made two great steps. Last year they won a game in the tournament, coming into our league, tougher schedule. This year they make it to the semifinal round, end up 19-12. So I think the future bodes well for Porter Moser and Loyola in our league.
With Christian Thomas getting to come home and play in St. Louis this week, I know it was very special for him, disappointing that they lost, but how cool is it for him and for all the kids that come to St. Louis, because the city welcomes these outside schools with open arms.
Oh, last year they had the second biggest student contingent here. This year they had a really good crowd from Loyola, so I think they're a great ad. It gives all of our schools an opportunity to play in Chicago once a year, and I think that's going to help our recruiting in the long run.
Championship Sunday was a picture-perfect day in St. Louis. The weather outside was beautiful, and fans from throughout the Midwest made their way through the turnstiles into the stunning Scott Trade Center. Once again, over 50,000 fans made their way into this tournament, filling the concourses and spending money on concessions and apparel. The Valley also wants the fans to be engaged throughout the game and partner with corporate sponsors to bring interactive contests throughout the tournament. And joining me now is the president and CEO of Single Swing Golf and Promotion, Chris Razavi. And Chris is one of the individuals responsible for the halftime $50,000 promotion. Chris, tell us about this.
Well, it's our 10th year with the Missouri Valley Conference. We'd like to thank Jack Watkins and Doug Elgin for letting us be a part of this great event. And also Casey's General Store. They've been a longtime supporter of the Missouri Valley, and a great opportunity for consumers to go in and have an opportunity to win $50,000. This particular contest was the 24-second progressive contest, where the individual has to do a layup, a free throw, a three-pointer, and a half-court shot. So the odds are stacked against them. You would pretty much relate us to like the house in a casino, but our contestant, as you saw, made the first 2 shots. It was rumbled my stomach a little bit. I thought, you know, he might actually have a chance at winning the $50,000.
In the last couple of years, I can remember somebody hitting a shot from half court and everybody thought he won, but there was some rule that he didn't, but the Missouri Valley took care of the individual anyway.
Oh yeah, the Missouri Valley did a great job of taking care of it. You know, these rules are very defined about what the contestant has to do in return to receive the grand prize. And basically they have to follow the progression. And that individual missed one of the shots. He basically made a long three-point shot. He missed the three-pointer and just ran right to the half court through all the excitement. He had the time. The crowd was cheering. And that's what happens, and that's what these contests are for, really. Hype up the crowd and give the advertiser a lot of exposure.
Jack Watkins came up to my cameraman Jerry Berwin and I before the shot and said, whatever you do, don't touch the ball. Why was it so important that we didn't touch the ball?
Well, it's very important that the contestant gathers his own ball. You know, we don't want the cheerleaders tossing the ball back out to him. There's a defined amount of time of 24 seconds, and that is the rules, 24-second progressive contest.
Well, Chris, thank you for your continued support of Arch Madness, and will you continue this up, and why is it so important to you as a proud corporate sponsor to back the Valley?
Well, the Valley's been great to us, and it's great for the community. It's great for the city of St. Louis. This is our 10th year with the Missouri Valley Conference and Casey's General Store. We'd like to just thank them for letting us be a part of this great event.
One of your duties is, as tournament director, is also making things fun for the fans, fan-friendly contests and $50,000 shots. Could you maybe talk a little bit about that? A chance for a fan to come out here and win $50,000.
Well, I think that you know, sports now is not so much, in addition to the games, people like to be entertained even during media breaks. So having someone like a Todd Thomas or the in-game contests that we have really kept it fresh and lively. We try to engage a fan from both schools, so where there's, again, the competition just doesn't end at a timeout. And having that level of energy and interactiveness really makes a big difference. And you know, we've got great corporate partners that help underwrite the tournament as well. And Casey's has been with us a long time that has sponsored the skills competition. And it's just a complete package.
The Redbird mascot was pumped up behind a raucous crowd, and the Panther from Northern Iowa led the team onto the court for the championship game. Could the red-hot Redbirds pull out another miracle and defeat teams ranked in the top 11 nationally on consecutive days? Basketball coach Dan Muller was also a former player at Illinois State, and in 1998 was voted most outstanding player in this tournament. And he is looking for a way to get the Redbirds an automatic spot in this year's big dance. On the other side, University of Northern Iowa head coach Ben Jacobson has been named Missouri Valley Conference Coach of the Year 3 times, including the 2015 campaign. And in 2010, he led the Panthers to the Sweet 16 with an upset win over Kansas. So this game was going to be a battle of coaches and players. The Redbirds came out like Roadrunners, led by number 3 Deshaun Knight, and they dominated the first half with an up-tempo game. Under the boards, it was 6'10" Reggie Lynch pounding the boards and frustrating the Panthers. The Redbirds kept the pressure up, and UNI looked flat and off their game. At halftime, Illinois State was up a resounding 36-22, and the Redbird fans were clamoring for a big victory. In the second half, Northern Iowa forgot about the score, and within minutes, were back in the game, down by 6, led by MVC Player of the Year, Seth Tuttle. Tuttle, number 10, led the league in field goal percentage, making 63% of his shots. He was also tied for third in scoring and rebounds. With a little over 8 minutes to play, this three-pointer by freshman Deontay Hawkins tied the game for Illinois State. But Nate Buss answered immediately with a three-pointer, and Northern Iowa never looked back and cruised to a 69-60 victory over Illinois State.
Most outstanding player is from the University of Northern Iowa, Seth Tunnell.
How cool is it to be the tourney MVP as well as the conference MVP in the season, regular season?
Yeah, you know, it feels great. Like I said, there's other players that probably deserve that award just like myself, you know, and that's what makes this league so special. We got good players in this league, great teams, great coaches, and for me to, you know, to get both of them, it means everything.
I love coming to St. Louis.
Yeah, now I love coming to St. Louis. Yeah, you bet.
You know, in the second half, you guys did come back. You cut the gap immediately, and then Illinois State came back on a run, and you guys really put it home down the stretch. Was it just intestinal fortitude or conditioning, or what really put you over the hump in the end?
Yeah, you know, I think it's, you know, after we got back in the game, you know, that really comes down to mental toughness, and you know, I was proud of the way that our guys fought. And I was proud of the way our guys, you know, can continue to keep attacking the second half, even after they got on that run. Because, you know, if a team gets on a run like that, you know, you start after you make a big run and they come back and answer, and you know, you never know where it could go. So for us to be able to, you know, answer and just keep doing what we were doing, it was great.
And we're with Marvin Singleton of the 2015 Arch Madness Missouri Valley Championship team. And you know, Marvin, tell us about the experience here in St. Louis. You've got your net hanging on your hat, your little piece of the net right there, and you know, just describe your experience here in St. Louis.
Well, you know, my first 3 years here, we came up short. We lost in the first round. This year, we had a lot of changes. We were playing a lot different, playing a lot more together as a unit, and we wanted to make change. We didn't want to go home early again, and we kept winning. Won the first game, won the second game. And then today we got down early, but we stayed together. We didn't give up. Kept fighting to the end. We got what we came for.
It seemed like it's a little bit of a sluggish first half. You were down double digits. What did Coach tell you at halftime to inspire you to come out so strong in the second half?
I mean, he kept his message pretty simple. He just told us keep doing what we do, what we practice every single day in practice. Keep playing our defense, and we're gonna be there. They're gonna miss a couple shots, and we're gonna get out in transition, get a couple easy points. And we get it up under 10. They'll start to crack and the tempo will start to change our way, and that's exactly what happened.
I mean, could you believe that you were down like 14 points or something at half, and then you guys cut the gap to 6 within just a couple of minutes? How did that make you feel? Did the momentum change at that point?
The momentum changed real fast. First half, they hit a lot of threes. They hit a lot of open shots, got a couple of easy baskets. Second half, we locked down on defense a little bit. They started missing a couple of shots, and we didn't give up too many offensive rebounds, so we got a chance to get in transition, get us some easy buckets. Then that changed the game a little bit.
Tell us about your experience in St. Louis. How you like coming to the Lou now?
I love it. This is my last season here coming to St. Louis, and what other better way to leave like this with champions?
You know, the Redbirds certainly did a great job. They came out smoking in the championship game, and they were up as much as 14, 16, 18 points. And going into halftime, it kind of looked like there could be another upset brewing. Do you find yourself thinking that if Illinois State wins this game, the Valley has a chance of possibly getting 3 teams in the big dance?
Oh, I think if Illinois State had won, we'd have definitely gotten 3. We'll get 2 now. Illinois State will probably go to the NIT. And I think all will represent the league well. Northern Iowa and Wichita State both have an opportunity to go deep into the tournament. And, you know, as we've seen in recent years, Valley teams have done exceedingly well in the NCAA tournament.
We're with Jack Watkins, the tournament director for the Valley. And Jack, congratulations once again. What a finely tuned conference. What a great tournament you put on, and congratulations to yourself. And what do you attribute all your success to?
Well, we have great people at the Missouri Valley Conference office, Todd, and we also have great volunteers. We have about 70 volunteers take vacation time that come in to St. Louis and help us. It's, you know, 25 years of Arch Madness is a testament to not only our staff, our student athletes, and our coaches, but our people that really come in and volunteer on their time that make it so turnkey. It really is. It's more like a big family reunion than it is a basketball tournament. It just happened to have a sporting event with it.
It seems like a round-the-clock job, Jack. I mean, beginning with the awards ceremonies, the banquets over at, you know, Union Station, and all. Then you have the games, and throughout the week. I mean, how many hours a day do you put into this?
Well, it's tough to really say. I will just tell you that it's, our planning really starts in November, and so it's an ongoing thing for about 4+ months. Weekly meetings with all of our staff and key volunteers, and really no two tournaments are the same. You have to be able to adjust, but having good people that can react in a positive way and represent not only the Valley but the city of St. Louis, because this is where we live and breathe, is really important to us.
The Valley directors still have more postseason tournaments to coordinate as they prepare for a huge 2016.
Next weekend we have our women's tournament in St. Charles, equally as important for opportunities for our female student athletes. Then after that, I'm actually going to Omaha, Nebraska, because we host the NCAA first and second round at Scottrade in 2016. And as a future host, you're required to go to a venue, even though we've hosted in back-to-back years in 13 and 14. Not my rules, but the rules we'll play by.
And once again, the 2015 Arch Madness Tournament at the Scottrade Center was a huge success. Congratulations once again to the University of Northern Iowa for their resounding victory in the championship game. For STL TV, I'm Todd Blackstock. Arch Madness is one of my favorite things to cover each year here in St. Louis, and it's going to be a lot more basketball in 2016 in downtown St. Louis. We'd also like to thank Brent Shulman for coming in, of course, Doug Elgin, Jack Watkins, and Mike Kern from the Valley, and I'd like to thank Jerry Berwin for his great work on that piece. So I'm Todd Blackstock. Thanks for watching Inside Sports. We'll see you next time.